This week on Dr. Drew After Dark. You look fascinated.
Well, what are we doing here?
Well, we're educating you.
Why did we do that?
Because well, that's Tom's stuff. He shows me to get my thoughts. So I learned what sus was.
You talked to him in the bathroom while you guys were both peeing?
Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't dig that.
This is great. I love what you've done with your career.
Thank you.
It's a thrilling use of a medical degree.
Thank you. Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. We appreciate you being here and supporting the people that support us, and keep coming back, my friends. We love doing this. 818-253-1693 is where you can send your voice messages. And of course, the email is at drdrewafterdark@gmail.com. The guest today, Francis Ellis, comedian, actor, writer. Lots to talk about.
I'm happy to be here, Drew. Thank you very much.
You almost didn't make it, but you powered through.
I did. Well, I had to hoof it. I made the mistake of taking a bird scooter over here, and it died on me. And boy, oh boy, walking through this area really teaches you a lot about Austin.
Yeah,
so.
All the times that Nadav has been on a scooter and had to run. How many times that been, Nadav?
That I've had to run on a
Never.
I've shit on a scooter.
You've shit on a scooter?
Mm-hmm.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, I was riding a scooter, and then I coughed, and then I shit. I think I was getting into keto at the time.
Blame the keto.
It got away from me.
Did you not have pants on?
I don't understand how that
Did you
matters.
shit into your underwear, or did you shit on the scooter?
It was a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
So it went down the leg a bit.
No, it was one of those sit-down scooters, the one that had Bluetooth speakers.
Okay.
So
it's through and through.
Yeah, it was just right through the pants and then onto the seat a little bit.
Yeah, that's
I threw it into
the
a
old
ditch.
I thought I was going to fart Shart maneuver, right?
Right, yeah, and then it was just a full shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. My friend sends me a text every year on the date that it happened. It's been 3 anniversaries so far.
So I'd like to celebrate with you guys from now on. And are you okay with this? You dissociating? Are you okay with this?
Oh, am I okay? Yeah, no. I mean, we've all had one of those, right?
Not you. Not you. Not
I
Mr.
Had one.
Really?
I definitely had one. Yeah.
What?
I thought I already told this one. Yeah, I was on a date. And I just never talked to her again. Yep, just ran away. Didn't deal with it.
I thought you had an anus of steel.
I know. So did I. And I was pissing. I was. You know what it was? It was because I was too calm because we were in a convention
Center?
center, and so I
Classic
went,
date spot.
Yeah, I know. We all take CTI or
Want to check out the New York Auto Show?
we were at a fucking cookie festival.
Oh,
So
that's even better.
yeah.
Cookie festival.
Yeah.
Any chance you need your vaccine booster? Easier access over at the convention center.
But I had to piss. I had to piss, and we were at the stupid cookie thing, and I didn't want to piss in front of all these fucking degenerates. So I went to one of the empty convention halls because you could do that, and so. Yeah, I was in a bathroom. It was like a giant ass fucking bathroom. And I was all by myself, so I think I was a little too comfortable.
Yeah, you just let it
And then I went
go.
I was pissing in the urinal. I'm like, this one feels extra good.
And then you just
it was
ghosted
just
this chick
warm
after
and-
your mistake?
After that mistake. Yeah, I called my friend. I was like,
How old were you?
Too old.
You were pissing, and then you said this feels too good.
I was like,
but
this
you
one
didn't know it was
feels-
coming out of your ass.
It wasn't immediate. It just felt warm and nice, and then because it doesn't happen to me. Because this shit doesn't happen to me. This shit doesn't happen.
He
to me,
wasn't
dog.
familiar with it.
The
Yeah.
feeling of shitting is so alien to him.
Well, that the shitting
In my pants, man.
that the shitting gets away from him. This has never happened. You understand?
I understand things getting away
This guy
from
is like ninja shitter. He's like he has
Careful.
ninja qualities when it comes to pinching a loaf.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so I called my friend up and I was like, yeah, if you could bring me some boxers and a fucking blanket, whatever the fuck else, and he did, and then I just left and I never talked to her again.
Francis, I blame you for the road we're going down here, but
Well,
I'm going to continue going.
I'm surprised it's gone this far.
Well, did I tell you about my incontinence on a plane once?
Go ahead.
I didn't tell you this?
I don't know.
Not that I
Maybe.
remember.
No, I'm sorry Susan's not here for this. It's one of her favorite stories. I did the old think I need to fart on the plane. I'm in there, and I'm thinking, what? did I spill something? What's going on? Why is this so wet on my seat? So wet. And I thought, oh shit, oh no. I'd had a vegan meal the night before. I've had this twice happen with eating vegan, a pure vegan meal. And went to the bathroom, and I had just destroyed myself with diarrhea. I mean, destroyed. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I sort of mopped up as best I could, realized that was not even a half measure. Got off that plane because we're not now, like, while I'm cleaning, the seatbelt light goes on and it's time to land. I'm like, Jesus, I got to go back to the seat. Go back to the seat, run to a bathroom in the airport, take off throw the underwear out, clean the jeans in the toilet, and go back about my business.
Clean the jeans
myself
in the
and
toilet.
myself too with the
Were
toilet.
you using toilet water to
Toilet
clean?
water and toilet paper to clean myself and the
kidding?
jeans. What are you gonna do?
I did the same thing.
You did it?
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
No, you're
That's
just
all you
not,
had?
No, you're just not flying that day. Just fucking
Flying, I was on a connection. I was at a tight connection
Well,
too. I was like
and
trying
what
to
city
get
were you
across.
connecting in?
I don't remember.
Did
Well,
you
you
have?
should have stayed in that city.
I'm
for
like
the
Annie. I
24
can't remember shit like that.
Did you have extra pants in your carry-on?
No, nothing like that. Nothing carry on. And so now underwear I threw out. Pants I'd washed in the toilet. Washed myself in the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
this is barbaric.
It's barbaric, but I blame you because we normally don't talk like this. You're inspiring us in some sort of way.
Francis,
Not
when was the
quite
last
this
time
bad.
you shit yourself?
It was on the way to a ski trip
Yeah,
in high school.
Drinking too much?
No, not at all. My mom was driving me and 3 friends up in a minivan
Up to Vermont or where?
Maine.
Maine doesn't have skiing, does it?
Oh yeah.
Really? That's skiing
oh
in
yeah.
Maine?
The
All right.
biggest mountain in New England is in Maine.
I thought Mount Greylock in Massachusetts was the biggest
No,
mountain.
Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf.
is the
I always
big
thought
one.
Sugarloaf was in New Hampshire or Vermont.
No,
actually. Yeah.
Sugarloaf's up in northern Maine, and then Sunday River is closer to New Hampshire. But we have some good mountains up there, and I had to tell my mom to pull over, and I ran into a snowbank, and then it was just liquid. It was pure liquid, and my friends were all laughing at me.
Of course they were.
It was really
Greatest
not.
moment of their life.
It was terrible. It was a terrible experience.
But you weren't like a little baby that shit the diaper like Andy and myself. You managed to control yourself.
no, I
sufficiently
had not made it fully.
Oh, okay.
Yours is
there
cooler.
was he got both.
Did it-
Collateral damage.
Did it turn to ice? Because you said it was liquid and it hit the snowbank.
No, I mean I think it probably melted some of the snow. I had to,
Right.
go through like waist deep snow to get far enough away to do that. And my friends got out of the car to watch, which I thought was very like voyeuristic and kind of perverted, if I'm honest.
That's just because you were mad at them. If you'd been one of them, you would have been right there.
Probably.
Oh, of course.
Probably
Of
would have.
course.
Yeah, it was a sight to behold.
But then he knew a life in comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
So speaking of that, when did comedy hit for you?
Well, I got into it when I was 21. So I've been at it for 12 years now.
You were living in Massachusetts then?
I was in school, and I was just started doing some sets my senior year, and then moved to New York and
Do
pursued
it in Cambridge, or did you go into the city?
Well, yeah, there was the Comedy Studio or the Comedy Connection, which was run by a guy named Rick Jenkins. I can never remember.
In Cambridge.
Yeah, it was above the Hong Kong Chinese food restaurant. It's a very well-known comedy club, which has since moved, and I don't know, they're kind of
There
off.
was that famous Chinese restaurant comedy club in Boston.
That's probably the one you're thinking of. Or is that Nick's Comedy Stop?
No, it had a Chinese name.
Oh.
This is from the 60s and 70s, long time ago.
The one in Cambridge was above the Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the first place I ever really worked.
And so we are discovering that most comedians have some trauma or something that they're. What's your deal?
Well, the trauma for me came when I tried to work in a more kind of typical field. I had a junior year internship, my summer of my junior year in finance, working in mortgage-backed securities for the Royal Bank of Scotland.
In New York?
That was in Stamford, Connecticut. That was
course,
where their
yeah.
headquarters were. But this was 2010, so shortly after
2008?
mortgage-backed
Yes.
securities had cratered the housing market. So everyone was very forlorn in that field and at my desk. And I was so disconnected from the work and bored that I would I had this headphones case, and I would go to this fire escape on the way down to the parking garage, 3 or 4 floors down and go under an overhang of the steps and then nap for 11-minute increments, which was as long as I could feasibly say I had been in the bathroom for. And that would happen 2 or 3 times a day because I would eat really large meals because the food was free. And I did that for the whole summer, and
It sounds like dread was your trauma.
it was terrible.
Dread, right? You dreaded it.
Yeah.
I can feel the dread just hearing the story.
I was really uninterested
So
in the
from
work.
that moment on, it's like, fuck society, fuck finance.
Well,
Because there's an antisocial impulse in comedy, right?
I suppose so, but I was never so maladjusted. You know, it wasn't some I don't know, hatred of misanthropic
Yeah.
inroad that led me to spill my guts on stage. It
Right.
was more like I failed at everything else, and just decided
You dreaded everything else, right?
I dreaded. Yeah, because then I also tried to go to law school, and I went for 4 days, and then I wasn't into that.
Didn't stick.
Yeah. And I worked very hard to get these things. You know, I studied forever for the LSAT and all of that. And
Was it hard to let go after all that studying?
yeah, I mean, it was a challenge because my girlfriend at the time, her parents wanted me to go, and I respected them. And I don't know, structure always, I had grown up in a way where, it was expected of me to, not by my parents necessarily, but by what I'd accomplished, that I should keep
going.
doing more traditional things.
Yeah.
And finally, everyone just gave up on me, which gave me the freedom to do what I wanted.
Tell me about Oops, the podcast.
It's a podcast that stemmed from fallibility and mistakes and what we learned from them. My friend Julio and I hosted together, and I had been fired from Barstool Sports the first time I worked there for writing a blog about a young woman who'd gone missing in Utah. Her sorority sisters had reported her absence to the FBI, and I wrote this lighthearted blog about it because I misread the news headlines and thought she was fine. Shortly after, she was found brutally murdered, and then lots of news outlets came out at us saying that Barstool Sports writer Francis Ellis had slut-shamed a murdered girl, which is a very challenging Google search result to overcome when you're unemployed. And I mean, my God, I had to ask my friends to Google my high school lacrosse statistics to try to bump it down. But as it turns out, search engine optimization is far more tricky than that because people were more excited to read that slut shames a murdered girl headline. So that one stuck. But it took me 3 years to sort of claw my way back and remain somewhat afloat. And finally, Barstool actually hired me back just 6 months ago.
And those 3 years you did comedy during that time?
Oh, yeah, the whole time.
And no hesitation about that.
Yeah, I've been doing stand-up all along.
But I mean, that seems like those 3 years, you must have had some doubt, some confidence.
Well, unfortunately, when you get fired on a national scale like that, the bridges to a more normal life are all
I'm curious.
unilaterally
It just seems
gone.
to me, I would imagine, I lots of my friends have been raised in similar manner and played lacrosse and things, and I imagine you would think I should go to the military like those guys.
I've had that thought.
That's what I figured.
But more from a vainglorious standpoint.
I understand, but when your back's against the wall like that, it probably looked like, well, there it is. I got to go do that now.
Yeah, but I mean, whenever I've had moments in my career where I'm like, I don't know what I should do next, the Marine Corps somehow comes into view.
Yes.
And I'm firmly aware that I have just too picky of an eater to handle the MREs. And, I have too much respect for the military to think that I could fall back on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. That for it to be your fallback with not consistent with your sense of who they are and what they're all about.
Right.
All right, let's take some calls here. We got a lot of stuff going on. Oh my goodness. All right, let's try this. This is Taylor. You up for some calls? Yeah?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Taylor, what's going on?
Hi, Dr. Drew. How are you?
Hey there. We're good.
Hi, Taylor.
Hey. So I was wondering, I like being a cum dumpster, and my husband and I were wondering, say I get freaky with him on Friday night, he cream pies me, and then say we wake up Saturday morning and he wants to cream pie me again. can I take a Plan B pill like later Saturday, and that covers both cream pies?
Taylor, you're a bad girl. What the hell is the matter with you? Who talks like that? You're married. Talk to your father. Jesus Christ.
It's for him.
That was Francis. So you're wanting to cover two loads with one pill, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the difference amongst the 12, okay, you're challenging my math skills a little bit, but you're saying within 12 hours, two within 12 hours or within 24 hours?
Within like 24 hours.
Look, so the way the Plan B works primarily is by suppressing ovulation, right? And if if you had already ovulated, you're screwed pretty much either way, right? With both of those I don't know what else to say but loads. Both of those loads are going to be contributing to the potential fertilization. By the same token, if you can suppress the ovulation, which you have up to about 72 hours to do that, because the egg waits in there for 72 hours for the sperm to reach it, waits in the tubes. So the only way you would get into trouble is if the egg is released between the one and the second. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, let's say that's the one, or if the egg's already there. The egg's already there or it comes after the first one, you're in trouble. But you will cover both if you take it almost immediately after the second, if that makes any sense at all.
Gotcha. But if I do any more loads than the two, then I'm fucked.
This is a weird probability equation you're asking me to assess, right? Because what's the probability that in the X period of time you have a 72-hour window potentially, but you're messing with that 72 hours by doing other things during that time?
Can I ask too, isn't it reasonable to think that his second load and his loads in success will be less sperm?
That's true, but still enough to have a conception.
Ah, okay.
So, this is why they don't get into these kinds of equations when they're recommending how to use this pill, Taylor. It gets a little weird very quickly.
Wait, real quick before you hang up on Taylor, I have a question, Drew.
Yeah.
I just want to see if I'm starting to pick up what you're picking up.
You notice I didn't say it. I don't think so.
No?
It's possible.
Say for the audience what you're thinking.
It crossed my mind. So Taylor, I'm sorry we're going to do this to you, but here we go.
I think I'm picking it up.
So we talk to women about their orgasmic function on this show a fair bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right. And some women can have orgasms really easily during intercourse. Some can have with intercourse, but not so easily. And a lot of women only have an orgasm with some sort of direct clitoral stimulation. Women with voices like Taylor, it's sometimes an indication of, I'm going to put her in the able to have orgasm with intercourse, but not multiply orgasmic. Is that you, Taylor?
That is incorrect.
Uh-oh. Are you multiply orgasmic?
Like, multiple, absolutely.
Okay, and he got it. So
Congratulations.
yeah,
Eddie.
well done. Good. Taylor's one of these unicorns.
We out there, baby.
Yeah. It's
I'd love to hear that. Thank you, guys.
yeah. So some women can have repeated orgasms.
Yes,
no problem.
yes,
Yeah,
right.
And they have a certain quality in their voice. And Taylor had some of that. I wasn't going to bring it up because I wasn't sure. And he caught it, and he wins. So
I'm just,
Wow.
hey, I learned from the master.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I learned from the master.
Is that true? Come on now.
no,
I
yeah.
mean,
We
Oh,
just
Voice?
proved it.
I'm learning it from
But
Drew.
she doesn't. Her laugh wasn't quite the laugh I usually hear for the ones that we'll maybe hear it as we go along here. So
You don't think it has? You don't think it has more to do with the fact that Taylor is talking about being a cum dumpster and taking multiple loads from her husband and then treating that with Plan B? That had nothing to do
we
with.
prefer not to have any like crotch goblins, so that would be pretty tight.
it's people's sexual drive and whatnot is not related to that multiple orgasm.
Got it.
Yeah, so she's just a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you, guys.
Hope that answered it. It's not an easy thing to answer. Let's see. Here we go.
This is great. I love what you've done with your career.
Thank you.
This is a
Thank you.
thrilling use of a medical degree.
Thank you. Liz from Toronto. Liz, what's going on? Thrilling. I like
Hello?
that. Yes, ma'am. What's up?
Hey, Dr. Mommy.
Hey, mommy, what's up?
Hey, Mommy. So my tits are just so fucking hairy. Like, I'm 26. I've never been pregnant. I'm
Right.
not on birth control, but I have to pluck them, like, all the time. Should I get laser?
A lot of people do. It's sort of that, daisy appearance that some women get. It's not uncommon. It's more common than people sort of acknowledge, frankly. If you can control it with tweezing, then it must not be very bad. Some people
I get
have
a lot of ingrown, though.
a lot of what? Ingrown? Yeah.
Ingrown?
Yeah, then
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? I don't know what the sort of electrolysis and or laser sort of world, how that looks upon that tissue, but I'm sure they can do something with it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Good for you. So,
Appreciate it.
You still thrilled, Francis?
Well, that was very pragmatic.
Yes, of course. Let's look at this one. Medical case, I'd appreciate your insight. 24-year-old female, long history of endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, dysmenorrhea. First period age 10, birth control since 14, recently abdominal pain, gynecologist revealed I have didelphys uterus. Look up,
Does that mean 2 of them?
yep,
Nailed it.
yep. Bicornuate, I think we also call it that. Isn't much information, but what about pregnancy is what she's asking. The big problem with the there it is. That's fully. She has something a little different. Let's see. It's
Maybe
more.
a bicornuate?
It's it's like the bicornuate on the bottom, and the cornu of the uterus is the corners, like literally the corners areas, and she's got these 2 corners. The problem with that is if the corners are not big enough, and a uterus gets and a pregnancy gets set up there, it can rupture the uterus. So there is some issues early on in terms of where the fetus implants and that kind of thing. But it really depends on your specific anatomy, whether it's very significant or not. So it doesn't prevent pregnancy, at least not been in my experience. Look up didelphys, Didelphys, uterus. There it is. You got it on the bottom. Oh, you did it.
Yeah,
okay,
I
already.
was
Oh,
in there,
thank you.
buddy.
All right, there you go. So didelphys, let's see. Oh, I think didelphys is the bigger double uterus thing. That looks like it probably could maintain a pregnancy. So there you go. Looks like it to me.
Could you have concurrent pregnancies?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It looks like you could, right? Because almost like you have 2 uteruses.
Yeah. And would those be considered twins?
Yeah, if they were at the same time, right? Doesn't matter where in the uterus they implant, as long as they're
But
eggs simultaneously implanting.
typically, twins are the result of of an egg splitting
There would be identical twins.
and
Fraternal twins, 2 eggs.
and both implanting in the same uterus.
The same uterus, but that technically is the same uterus, just 2 parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. We're teaching a little something.
This is fun.
Before we move on, Drew,
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up that Chad thought he could get away without sharing that he shit himself in public. Chad, go ahead, take it away.
What the? This was so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was long ago too, and I
Yeah,
shared it
No,
with
I'm
everybody.
talking about when we talked about it on the show.
No,
We
yeah.
talked about it.
Yeah. This was like last 5 minutes.
God damn
He's trying to talk his way out.
it.
Were you teaching at the time?
I think
Were you standing in front of a class of students?
it actually wasn't in public. It was I was alone in my room by myself.
Yeah.
I don't buy this for a second.
Let's see what he
Yeah,
says.
It's true. I was.
Let's hear the man out.
I think that's probably the reason why I stopped drinking alone.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
like, yeah, this shouldn't be happening.
Were you like passed out and shit on yourself, or was
No, I just the best I can figure it is I had this. Yeah, I had a new roommate move in, and it was a female, and she was in the restroom, and I thought I had to go, but I thought I could wait it out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we had kind of just met, so I didn't really want to be like, get out of there so I can shit.
Yeah.
So I underestimated myself a little bit.
Yeah, the Shart seems to be the enemy of the young male.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
Hubris.
Hubris,
Yeah.
that's right. We think we can control stuff. We think we're not biological.
Thank you for sharing, Chad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's great producing.
Let's talk to Phil. What's up, Phil? Phil.
Hey, what's going on, Dr. Hitler?
Hey, man.
Yeah, just a question about, I got a vasectomy about 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and ever since I've got some like kind of blue ball like tenderness that I never really had before.
Yeah.
Because that's a new feeling for me, and it kind of happens a day or so after.
Yep.
You know, maybe I have sex or whatever, but it lasts for a while. Is that going to be a continuing factor now after the vasectomy? Or is it going to go away at some point? It's going to feel normal again.
How long ago was your vasectomy?
3 months.
Yeah, usually it goes away, but there can be a persistent pain syndrome. It's pretty uncommon, but it usually goes away. Okay, I would talk to the urologist just to see if he had any complications during the procedure or anything you ought to look out for, but I would look forward to it going away. And he may have some recommendations to you.
Okay.
There may be certain things you can do in terms of sort of, you got to keep the pipes clean, and maybe you want to support, the testicles and the prostate a little bit, where sometimes just improving the lymphatic outflow of that region is helpful. So wearing tight underwear at night, that kind of thing can just help the flow back into your body. Okay?
Gotcha. Okay. I definitely hate tight underwear, but I can deal with it if it's my balls don't hurt. So
it's
a good trade-off.
It's a lymphatic issue sometimes. So and then not delaying ejaculation, that kind of thing can add to it. So no law school.
Yeah. I mean, where are we? You're amazing. No law school. Get out of here. Why do you think that guy had a vasectomy? That's what I'm wondering.
We can ask him if he's still there. Usually it's they're married, have a couple kids, and they're ready to done. Phil, you still there? Phil?
Yes, still here.
Yeah. Why'd you have your vasectomy?
Had one kid. I'm one and done. No more.
Nice.
That's usually
was that a co-decision between you and your wife or the mother of your child?
It was a bit of a mix on that one. She would like more kids. I was hesitant to want any kids, so we negotiated on one. And here we are.
He wanted to be sure there could be no further.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yeah. 34.
Yeah. So.
And after having the first one, I was a little gun shy for a bit there too. So it kind of makes performing a little difficult whenever you're worried about potentially having more kids. But I'm good on one.
Wow. Amazing.
There you go. So he said something interesting there that since you're a wordsmith and we're going to go to law school, he said he used the word whenever when he should have said when. And I hear that all the time now. It drives me crazy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I can't.
Whenever I was going to school, it's like, no, when you went to school, when you had gone to school, not whenever I was at school.
Whenever's vague. It's...
Whenever it was meant to mean whenever, not when.
Right.
When is a specific point in time.
You know what? You're right. I don't like them either.
No, I didn't say I don't like Phil. I don't like the common use of that word whenever these days.
No. Shame on him.
Shame on everybody.
Shame on him.
Yeah.
Undo that vasectomy. Give his wife more children. Whatever.
So there we go.
He doesn't deserve it.
Let's watch some videos. If you think you're moved so far, Francis, we had a lot of brown talk. Let's switch over to yellow.
Ooh, I got you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This is the truth. This is the reality of living with that fucking maniac. All that urine. So I don't have to fucking go out there and deal with this fucking maniac. I get to have a room full of fucking urine. Totally not humiliating. See that?
Oh, it's the cat.
You know what that smells like in my fucking room?
No, it's his.
This is insane that nobody will do anything. I mean, it's just like, I don't even know what fucking world I'm in.
I'm a little confused by what's happening to Judd Apatow right now.
Yeah.
Does he look like Judd?
Yes, he does.
So from what we can tell, this guy's in some sort of sober living or care facility. And I think there's another person that lives there that he can't stand. But whenever he's filming them, the guy he's filming is never doing anything he's not doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
So I think it might be in his own head. And so I think what he's been doing is trying to avoid that crazy person that's in the facility with him. He has now resorted to urinating in his own room into pots and pans. And cups.
So it's his own urine that's accumulating, so he's staying away from the nutty guy.
Yeah, what kind of,
paranoia of some type.
It's, very
He's
Howard Hughes of him.
Very, very much so. And if meth is his drug, that would sort of fit fully with that. And, we have a lot of people on this program that drink their urine, which is no bueno.
No?
No bueno.
It saved James Franco's life when he was in that rock.
He can, yeah. If you were stuck at sea or something, give you a couple extra days of blood volume. But in the real life, because you get uremic, you actually accumulate the ureic poisoning that would be urea poisoning that would otherwise have been eliminated.
Yes. Uremic.
Yes. Uremic poisoning.
Interesting.
Yes, which is part of kidney failure. But if your kidneys aren't allowed to excrete certain products because you keep taking them back in, it's the same thing as kidney failure.
Wow. Interesting.
Fascinating, right?
That's cool.
One of the aspects of kidney failure, at least. So what else you got for us?
Have you ever had to store your own urine? Have you ever had to, because you couldn't get to a bathroom or anything like that?
There must have been something.
Can I tell you, this is another embarrassing admission.
We that's our commerce.
Yeah.
We
I'm
deal
glad
only in embarrassing things.
I'm glad we opened with all the defecation talk, because when I was in
whenever you were.
Yeah, whenever. You can pick your time.
No, they don't say it like that. They're like, whenever I was at school, but whenever. Go ahead.
That's
when you
crazy.
Were,
That's really
it's awful. Now it's going to drive you insane. Like it drives me insane.
I was in Oxford, England. I did a semester over there.
As is the custom. It's like everyone.
That place is great, by the way, if you've not been. But I was there, and I was staying it was kind of a homestay.
What were you studying?
So it was a program I did, and it was actually when I was a senior in high school.
Oh my! And
I was recruited for lacrosse, so I knew my college situation was done. It was all squared away, and so I just said I grew up in Maine. I went to a local public school and was pretty tired of it, so I went over there
during your senior year.
Yeah, in the fall of my senior year.
Did you have what do they call the professors? The one-on-one professors? They have a name for them.
At Oxford.
At Oxford, yeah.
No,
did you have that kind of
I didn't.
Thing? Okay.
But it was loosely affiliated with the university. So I was not a university student.
It was a high school program for universities.
It was high school and gap year.
Got it.
But I played on the men's lacrosse team at the school and was friends with all the guys there. And I was doing a homestay. And the patriarch of this home, because they had also taken in a daughter who, with her children, and the place was just packed. And there was one bathroom, and you always had to assume that somebody was in there. And I was up on the third floor, and I got tired of walking down to the bathroom and all of that.
Sounds very pragmatic.
So I would just pee in a water bottle,
yeah. And
then on nights when it rained, I would open the shutter and I would pour it down the rain gutter. And it, I mean, it smelled. It really does start to smell.
Yes, it accumulates a little bit.
Yeah.
What did they think was going on in your room?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they thought the cat had a problem.
Oh, yeah. Blame the animal. It's good.
Yeah. And, I just that was once you start doing it once and you realize the ease of it, that becomes your system.
It's like sort of being a serial killer or something.
Yeah. You desensitize yourself to your own disgusting habits. How revolting
somehow becomes rewarding after time.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Wasn't very embarrassing.
Ooh, speaking of some embarrassing, while we're on the subject of piss.
Okay, is it a TikTok?
In this episode of What Does the Wild Naked Man Drink?
Jesus.
I'm going to fill this beautiful mason jar with my beautiful Urine. Which is medicinal.
He doesn't call it urine, it's Urine?
Amazing. That's how he pronounces it. Or going for a run or pumping some iron.
Blind Bob would love this, though.
It's a form of biofeedback. It's a form of self-love. When I drink my own piss, I get this enhanced benefit of self-approval and self-acceptance. And really, that's all there is to life, because self-love is the only love. So no wonder the yogis have been doing it for over 5,000 years.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Everything that's bad for us, like injecting heavy metals and aborted fetal cells right into your body, is made to seem good. And everything that's good for us, like drinking your piss, is made to seem bad. We live in an inverted clown world. So try it for yourself and be your own guru and do what feels good.
Yeah.
Does that not make you queasy?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
It sort of makes, I think I used to get angrier when I was younger. Like, what are you talking? You know what I mean? You have no business telling people to do this. I've sort of given up.
Because he's quite eloquent.
Yes. And he seems healthy. And so people buy in his stuff.
That's the issue.
Yeah. And you're not going to die from drinking your own urine unless you do it consistently for weeks. It's just like your body is a perfect, he's so invested in the body being a perfect instrument. Let it do what it's supposed to do.
Right.
With his excrete these byproducts through renal, the glomerular filtrates. That's it. Let it happen, and don't bring it back in.
Is there any nutritional value whatsoever to drinking one's own?
None that I'm aware of.
Piss.
Maybe somebody could come up with something. Maybe there's some, who knows what. Maybe it's challenging the immune system or something, or the gut in some way.
Yeah.
Changing the flora on the gut, and maybe has some sort of secondary something. It's reaching.
Well, they talk about fecal displacement or whatever it's called.
Fecal transplant?
Fecal transplant, and that's good for your gut. They say
that is good when you need it. You're trying to get a repopulation of certain bacteria, right? And that's usually something following Clostridium difficile, right? Pseudomembranous colitis, which is something you get from taking too much antibiotics or even any antibiotics. Yeah, so I have fecal transplant, and people imagine fecal transplant was taking a stool and cramming up somebody's butt. No, it's the bacteria condensed into capsules and swallowing it and getting it to your gut.
That's much more humane.
Much more civilized, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I
don't know why I've been eating my own shit all this time.
I know. You didn't have to.
Had no idea it came in pill form.
Well, it does. You and Divine. Let's see. Mid-30s, overall good health. Went to a bar with some friends. I remember having my third drink at 12:30. Next memory I have is 2 hours later, 2:30 in the morning. Half a mile away in a field with a wound just above my right eyebrow, bleeding profusely. No idea what happened. I did not take any other substances. Consensus is we think someone may have put something in my drink. Based on the information, do I think there's a spiked drink? There is a history of some mental illness on my mom's side, bipolar. I'm worried that some of these issues might manifest. Could this be related? Not suddenly like that. You don't suddenly become manic and blank out. The alcohol in itself, sometimes people will black out easily, particularly if they're drinking sort of regularly. They become more easy to black out, and that's kind of a sign that you have a problem with the alcohol. I don't know that you have to enlist a theory that there is some other agent put in there, though certainly that would do the same thing. The problem is you can't assume anything. And I worry that you might have had a seizure or something might have happened neurologically. And so you do have, I would send you to a neurologist just for a workup to make sure it's not something weird.
Wow.
The speed at which you drink alcohol is very much of a determinant of how intoxicated you get.
Right.
And if you drink 3 drinks quickly, you can go out. And particularly if you've been sort of priming yourself for a couple of weeks every night.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
You don't have to worry about me.
You're a heavyweight?
No, I'm very measured. I'm very smart about how I consume.
Never been intoxicated?
Oh, well, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't no bitch.
Just never gone too far.
I just, now these days, I've got it under control. I know my system.
Damn, bitch. So at one time, though, it was a little excessive.
No, when I was a kid,
you said these days. Whenever you used to drink.
Yeah. When you're a kid, it's impressed upon you that binge drinking is a badge of honor.
Oh,
back
interesting.
In the day. And nowadays, too.
I know.
Have you heard about this TikTok thing where they're drinking, it's some kind of concoction of water and alcohol and vodka and whatnot?
And?
Well, there was a theory that these kids were actually hydrating while they were drinking.
Oh, therefore they're fine?
But it's not holding up. Well. They're all in big trouble.
Yeah, no shit. Will you have some of that for me? No.
What's that called? Do you guys know what that's called? There's a name for it. It's all over college campuses.
Boofing? Is it doing it from the mouth?
Yeah, I think it's big jugs of water that they fill with vodka and water and then something else.
Wow.
Some kind of vitamin mix or like a anti-dehydration powder.
That is, like liquid IV or something
yes,
on top of that?
It's that.
So, wow, that is dumb.
Yeah.
That is, it's better than just the alcohol. I'll grant you that, but it's still dumb.
I don't want to selfishly divert us from whatever the agenda is, but
please be selfish.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Here, I found it.
Here it is.
Is it Borging?
Yes, Borging.
No.
This is
Blackout Rage Gallons.
Blackout Rage Gallons.
Oh my God.
gallon of water, pour out half, fill the rest with alcohol of choice and a powdered mix of electrolytes and caffeine. There you
Videos
go.
using the hashtag Borg hashtag on TikTok have been viewed 85 million times because they're just drinking so much. Oh, well.
That's the thing.
Good times.
Very cool.
How much are we heading in a wrong direction from one generation to the next, at least in terms of what we're consuming? It feels to me like when I hear what the new kids are doing, I'm like, holy cow, that's really dangerous. And I don't know, as someone who is potentially about to have, wants to try to have a family, how we reel them in. How do we, because I don't know how you control that.
Part of it is this thing.
Yeah.
Right. So if you start to look at this as tobacco and dealing with it accordingly, I think you'll have half the battle won. Right. And my friends that are actually experts, psychologists and things in adolescence and this instrument, give their kids an hour, max 2 hours a day.
Brilliant.
Period. End of story. So the more you can control that, the better off you're going to be. But that house can get out of the barn very early and very quick. Early porn exposure, like age 9 is now average exposure. And we don't have any idea what that's doing to kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right. And in terms of substance use, the normalization of pathological ingestions of substances, the one thing I just repeat over and over again, and I have for years, is when it comes to adolescent, again, we're really talking about more younger adults and adolescents, right? The health measures, adverse health outcomes, whether it's accidents, sexual assaults, pregnancy, STDs, fights, accidents, you name it, always alcohol, always intoxicated, and alcohol plus minus other things. And now you add in the power of the weed, the potency of the weed. We have another battle we got to fight as well.
Yeah.
So substances are a big part of it. And my in terms of you battling it as a parent, it's so endorsed on college campuses rather than looked at what it is a dangerous pathological problem.
Yeah.
So the more you can sort of try, once they go off to college, though, they're kind of, it's on their own. You know, it's you just hope what you've done has gone in.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Other medical questions?
No, that was helpful. I mean,
I think there's going to be a backlash in a good direction. I think because I how old are you now?
I'm 34.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, we were looking at hippies and all that kind of stuff and going, ugh, come on. We were a part of the movement, but like, too much. We don't really want that much to do with that. And then all of a sudden you had the 80s. And so things did kind of swing back. So I feel like something's going to, around your kids and the kids maybe just older than yours, I think there's going to be some sort of swing back in a healthier direction maybe.
Is it reasonable to think that perhaps there's a link between the secularization of America's youth and our movement away from religion with a fall into debauchery and lack of control on consumption?
I think I've not noticed that the secularization necessarily is associated with the debauchery, though, there used to be sexual boundaries and mores set by religion. They kind of gave up on that. Even religion gave up on that. And I've not noticed that religious kids are less likely to get into the debauchery so much. But what I have noticed is that secularization has been replaced by other religions of all types, political and all kinds of belief systems and things. That's what I'm seeing now most disturbing.
Wow.
That people don't understand that they're, rather than having opinions that they should be sharing and opening and adjusting and refining through discourse, they're going to these tribes that have belief systems that beg no issue. And that is a religious kind of a quality to it. And those are secular kids.
These are what, fringe
anything
groups?
Not necessarily at all.
Online forums? Or actual
They call them congressmen. I mean, they're called, they're on both sides. It's weird what's been happening.
And young people are subscribing to them.
It's been
dutifully.
By younger, I mean sort of 40 and under. It seems to have really gotten away from us because people need something to believe and they don't understand that they're sort of in a system of belief rather than a discourse of belief.
Brilliant.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yes, this is so fun.
Yeah, good.
I don't normally talk to people this smart on podcasts.
After he disses me for misusing by how the road you guys are taking me down with my medical training.
Oh,
your guys' fault.
I wasn't dissing you.
It's your guys' fault. It's their fault.
me.
I
Dr.
like
Drew.
Francis.
What have
I'm
you
going to
done
take
to
it.
me?
I'm going to put it on those guys. Alex, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Doctor?
Hey, man.
Hey, so I guess you've already read what's going on there. So
I just know your
found out
girlfriend's.
today-
I just know your
this morning.
girlfriend's pregnant. That's all I know. So what's up?
Yeah, literally just found that out this morning. Yeah.
Congratulations! Wow.
Yeah, that came
So,
after your second cream pie.
Oh, you didn't hear that call. I don't think.
Yeah,
Alex.
there's been a lot of them.
Oh, he didn't hear it. Yeah, you should have spaced it out a little more. Give her time with that pill.
What's going on?
So last year with an ex, actually, there was a miscarriage. So I kind of want to not kind of have have that happen again. Obviously, it's just bad luck, but I want to kind of keep her as healthy as possible. And I figure since you're the doctor, I want to ask you like what you could recommend, what I should stay away from, stuff like that.
Okay, so hold on a second. So this is her second pregnancy, correct?
No, different girlfriend.
Ah, and that girlfriend had a miscarriage?
Yeah. Yes.
How many weeks in was that?
It would have to have been about a month in.
Okay, so very early. So a significant percentage, again, people argue whether it's 20% or 50%, somewhere in there, of first trimester pregnancies terminate. Whether it's a genetic thing between the two of you or just whatever in terms of the development didn't go quite right. It's a complicated process how fetuses develop. It just happens. So some of it just happens and not much you can do about it. How long is this girlfriend? What you found out this morning, how far along is she?
I would say maybe 2 weeks or something like that. Because
really
you
quick.
started feeling fatigued when we were at the gym the other night. And
Okay.
so
All right.
more than usual. So then she this morning took it.
I understand. I just think pregnant women should be raised like veal. I mean, I really don't think they should be there. Now, there's a big movement to get COVID vaccine. Talk to your doctor about that. I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not really clear yet, but I would treat her like something, made out of porcelain. And no medicines, no anything. Just clean diet and just try to stay away from things that could interfere in any way with development. I just that's my general philosophy on women, because when they call me, can I take this and that? I go, please don't take anything. Just don't do anything. Just get clean diet. Do the best you can. Keep things pristine. Talk to your doctor about whether you should be vaccinated, and that's that. Okay?
Well, I know she already took one shot last year because her dad had a stroke and was in the hospital, so she had to take it to see him.
Yeah.
I can't remember if she got another one. I personally am not vaccinated, but
yeah,
I don't think that
my
matters for
wife
her.
is on the record saying she would absolutely not do it because we had triplets, and she was like, if I were pregnant, I would absolutely not get it right now. But there are people, and I've heard convincing evidence that it might be worth a booster, but I'm not clear. You have to talk to your doctor about that. Okay.
Okay. Well, she does have an appointment set. So
Good.
We're gonna
And talk about how to keep things as safe as possible and stress free and all that good stuff, and love, make her feel very. I'm always amazed. Women feel extremely vulnerable when they're pregnant, and men don't necessarily know that. And so how you behave during pregnancy goes on your record for good. I'm pointing at you because I know you're going this direction.
Yeah.
You need to make her feel not just special, but protected, like everything's taken care of. You don't necessarily have to do everything for her, but you have to make her feel like everything's protected.
Interesting. So no mosh pits.
No mosh pits, and if you go out and on the road and just you can't make her feel vulnerable if you're out there in the world. You got to make her feel secure, safe all the time. Not so much. It's a biology, right? It's a natural biology to want to feel that way. She's protecting herself and a other life. Yeah. But for the male, what they don't understand is this goes on your permanent record. This is stuff they never forget. So be good to your spouse or partner when they're pregnant. That's all I'm saying. All right,
that's good to know.
Taking notes.
I was planning to be horrible.
Well, whenever whenever she's pregnant, let's talk about
I want that baby to be born through adversity.
I want to
because
that
you know
comes later.
something?
It comes after they're born.
You know something, Dr. Drew?
What's that?
I grew up with unconditional love, and that has been a setback professionally.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much easier. You never hear Disney movies being made about the kid who had 2 loving parents.
No, it's always the evil stepmother.
Or the absentee father.
Or the abandonment, or
Yes.
the orphan, or whatever it is. You would still be in law school if it weren't for your damn parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heaven forbid.
They fucked up. So we had a video we would watch occasionally, a classic video here of a girl that was doing a video blog. And she was psychotic and opened every video blog. She thought she was talking to Adolf Hitler.
Ah.
And so she would, there she is.
What fun.
Hey, Hitler.
Hey, Hitler.
It's
You hear
me,
her?
Danny. I just want to let you know there are at least 2 of my Daniacs, or at least a few of my Daniacs that are on the shrimp scampi boat. And,
She's not
they
making
are
any sense.
getting
Yeah.
turned into lasagna. So I need your help getting a rescue boat over there, and they really need your help getting rescued. So could you... Hey, Hitler.
Say, hey, Hitler.
It's me, Danny.
Danny.
I just want to tell you that Nathaniel Lewis is basically harassing my Daniel.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a very derailed thought process. You look fascinated.
Well, what are we doing here?
Well, we're educating you.
Why did we do that?
Because well, that's Tom's stuff. He shows me to get my thoughts. But we have something coming up I see on the board here called Trans Hitler Reincarnation. And so I just
Right.
wanted to make sure we both had reviewed where the Hitler business
That
came
was
from.
our amuse-bouche
That was
for
our
that?
amuse-bouche. Yes, amuse-bouche for
It's
that.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
Now,
All right,
l'entrée.
it's time to address the nose ring drama. So if you haven't seen my latest video where I made this new nose ring right here, people are essentially calling me every name under the sun because I had the Reichsadler on my jacket.
The what?
So I need to tell you guys a little
Rice
something
salsa.
about me. And you can call me crazy, you can call me whatever you'd like, any name under the sun.
Okay.
But I'm very in tune with my past and my past lives and lifetimes that I've lived before this one.
Guess what?
My last life just so happened to be a very infamous one. Me offing myself was one of the first memories I had from that lifetime. It came to me when I was 5 in my nightmares. You can see right where I shot myself too. That and just so many other things throughout my life have connected me to my past. And you can go say, oh, go get on your meds again, you nutter. I've been on so many meds and none of them have changed what I saw when I was 5.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So what do you think?
Oh, boy.
Where are you going to go with this?
Hey, Hitler.
Well, what bothers me...
How do you take this seriously as a doctor?
Well, if somebody thinks he's psychotic, right? Because they've been putting him on meds, and they think this is a delusion, which it is. But what bothers me is that people have taken all sorts of different abnormal thoughts and turned them into identities. And I'm not talking about the transgender part of this at all. I'm talking about people that, certain victimizations and certain pre-lives or afterlives. So he says he was Hitler in his other life, and that's who he is now.
Hey, I think he inferred it.
He inferred it, but we're going to conclude that his inference was...
He's very coy with that
It's
inference.
a bit coy, but they just look at that nose ring and it says it all. And it bothers me that people are sort of reinforced for creating identities around pathological thinking. And this is another one of those things. It worries me. This worries me for my profession that we'll try to create some sort of world for him where that's consistent with that identity, rather than going, we need to deal with this. This is a delusional thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to work on your belief, whether your previous life were Hitler or not. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's just we got to deal with your thinking.
Do we coddle lots of cases
We
of
do.
psychosis?
Oh my God. We don't ask patients to do, look, we allow people to die before we ask them to do something. Die of schizophrenia, manias, drug addiction. Not allowed to ask them to, hey, come with me, let us help you.
But is it always...
Certain states anyway.
I know that for a lot of these diseases that the correct prescription or chemical balance can be a very difficult
Yes,
process.
and so the argument would be, if he's happier, does he identify as he? Do we know what is that? He must be a he because he's Hitler. Is
Nailed it.
Unless Hitler was, which there was some evidence of that, I guess.
Yeah.
But if he feels better identifying as Hitler and living as Hitler, who are we to change his life, right?
Do you believe that?
I believe that mental health is about dealing with reality on reality's terms. And if you're in denial about reality, I worry about your mental health. However, it may be a more comfortable existence living according to some of these thoughts. So I don't have a philosophical position. I want people to thrive and do well. Generally, I have concerns when reality is rejected.
Okay.
That's my general concern.
Huge mental leap here.
All right.
Is it possible that had we made a number of the horrific school shooters or people that have enacted violence as a result of
whatever
disillusion and psychosis, had we maybe gone along with their whatever they wanted and built their world with them, might we have averted some of these?
It's a great question, and the answer is no. And I would just point you no further than the kid that thought he was the Joker that shot up the theater in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's where it goes if you don't stop it. And there was a psychiatrist that did try to stop it, and there was a committee at the school that got in the way of it with the very thinking that you're talking about. Who are you to say he's living his best life? Blah blah blah.
Right.
These illnesses go places.
I see.
So now that's different. That's a different illness than this.
Right.
So again, I have no philosophical problem with somebody saying, well, let's make him live as Hitler and he'll be happy.
Right.
Fine. But if he's got a diagnosable condition that can go to violence, then I have a problem.
This conversation summons Shutter Island. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, you would love it.
Oh, is it
It's
movie?
Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow.
Goes. I don't want to give it away,
right.
but it very much was
All
right on
okay.
point with
Shutter
this.
Island.
Yeah.
Here we go. I want to see Lady Gaga talking about fame. Can we do that?
We could do whatever.
We don't have any more live calls right now, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's almost impossible for people even to probably even look at my career and the things I've done and think, oh, she didn't want, of course she wanted to be famous. Of course she wanted all that attention, but it's just creative expression is what I am. And I would have been doing this whether I became famous or not. I still would be doing what I do. What I'm saying is I wouldn't have given up to try to get famous in another way. Does that make sense? I just wanted to get a job being creative, and I did. I think the hardest thing for me is that I love people so much, and it is very hard to not be able to engage with people in a real and honest way.
Because they
either want something from me.
They want something.
Or they see me as something that I simply am not. I am not some goddess that dropped down from the sky to sing
I like
pop
all
music.
she's saying. Yeah, same. I
I'm
completely
not
co-sign
some
this.
extra incredible human person that needs to be told how wonderful they are all day and kissed and told how incredible. I don't need any of that. Truly, my purpose on this earth is to make people happy and heal people through music. That's what I am to do. To create fantasies that allow people to not just escape, but to see that there is the potential for magic in life.
Why did you show me that? I thought she's great.
I don't know. I just thought it was dumb as shit.
Oh, come on now. Listen, I just happened to have spoken to a woman who was a good friend, raised alongside of her when she was little. And she said, she goes, we knew all along that this was a creative genius.
Yeah.
And the mom apparently kind of protected it all the way along. She said her mom was the one sort of developing it.
She grew up in New York City, went to Nightingale.
That's right.
Yeah.
But everyone knew that there had some special talents.
Yeah,
and
she
stuff.
was really
from the beginning, 14 and stuff. And
I'm glad that you stood up to your
my cohorts,
your producers,
Yes.
because I agree. I didn't find that overly out of touch. We've seen that before.
In fact, if anything, I would criticize Jamie Lee Curtis because she missed the point a little bit. Because what she's saying is, fame was not an autonomous motivator, and that around her age group, that was a separate source of motivation for a lot of people. And she was saying, no, my motivation was to be a artist, or expressive, a singer, or whatever. And she's done a great job. I fully sign off and everything. Now, I guess you would think it's suspect because of all the meat dresses and all the weird shit that she did, right? Maybe. So, all right, you're suspect. You don't believe it.
She is sus.
But you could almost
I talked to something about Eddie in the bathroom, and he told me that was sus. So I learned what sus was.
You talked to him in the bathroom when you guys were both peeing?
Yeah, he didn't.
Sus.
Yeah, see, he doesn't dig that. Finally, went, you talking to me? I was like, yes, of course. Well, not really.
You were in like fucking 3 sentences in. I'm like, are you fucking talking to me?
Yes, I was, dude. I was talking to you.
Sus.
All right.
That's very sus. Can I show you another Lady Gaga video?
Here it comes.
Hi, everybody.
Is that her?
Thank you so much for coming to the Chromatica Ball, and we really tried
what happened?
to finish the show tonight in Miami, but
Her back hurt.
we couldn't because even when the rain sort of stopped, there was lightning that was striking right down to the ground, so close to us. And I know that for a really long time, I've always wanted to be like that hardcore bad bitch, but what I really want is to also be responsible and loving. I don't know what I would do if anything happened to anybody in the audience or to any member of my crew, my band, my dancers. So I'm sorry that we didn't get to, do the epic performance of Rain on Me in the Rain, but what's more worth it to me is life. And whoever threw these to me on stage, I will cherish them forever.
This is too much?
It took
Too
so
much.
much.
It's a little too much. But on the flip side, if
back
only
to a place where I could perform and be healthy.
if Travis
And I
Scott
hope-
had her mentality,
That's what I'm talking about. How many lives would have been saved?
all
3?
my Travis Scott Air Jordans wouldn't be worth so much less.
But I look, she was raised like veal, and it's
Chromatica will never be over.
and she's got. I'm not saying Lady Gaga has no issues. She's a very fragile person. She's got sort of somatoform stuff. I have anxiety disorder. I have panic disorder. We all have our cross to bear. You know what I'm saying? That's he does not like Lady Gaga is what I'm saying.
You don't like Gaga.
Yeah, I'd kind of defend her.
I wouldn't, just real quick, wouldn't say they.
Yeah, I'm not totally against it. There's just aspects of it that are too performative, I think.
She is excessively engaged in. Look, a lot of people get off on drama. And that's being overly dramatic.
Yeah.
And any, back in the old days, they'd call any excessive emotions of any type neurotic. That's sort of old school neurotic stuff, So I still I'd like to see a couple more videos. Do you mind like a horrible, hilarious something? I think Francis might be a good judge of that. Francis, horrible or hilarious?
Oh, this one's actually great. I think you're both going to love this one.
Oh, God.
Hooray.
So we're going to show you a clip, and you decide whether it's horrible or whether it's hilarious.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
Oh, no.
Not a good idea.
Uh-oh.
Keep coming down, man. You got it.
Like that guy, like...
Turn to the side. You get to the side. There you go. You can't be scared. Just roll with it.
Roll with it?
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So you're doing good. Kick it up again. Come down.
Just keep coming down.
Oh, wait, I'm in the way. All right, come down.
Please, I'm begging you. Somebody come.
Come down. You gotta come down.
I can't. The machine's not moving.
We in the Man, I don't know how to work the machine. You need to go down.
Please, somebody. Please, somebody.
Francis, you're a sadist.
There's an important detail to this, which is how much that box actually weighed.
Yes, it'd be nice to know.
And I could give you a hint.
Okay.
It looks like it's a wicker chair.
That's it?
Like if you
I
see
think it's the
this
chair.
image right here, I think it's this chair right here.
So it shouldn't be that heavy.
It's nothing.
It's not 1,200
They
pounds.
revealed.
He's moving and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I
very
seem to be
easily.
moving it a little bit, yeah.
This went super viral, and they revealed how much it actually weighed. And I think I remember reading. I mean, it's less than
85 pounds.
50 pounds
Oh,
or something.
gee.
And
All right, so hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I'm begging you.
Hilarious. Thank you for that one. Oh, and Nadav has something else up his sleeve, though. Maybe he has bad shoulders or something. Maybe there's something else going on, you know?
His shaking was
very aware of the workers' comp policy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So you should have gone along. One more. Horrible or hilarious?
That's everything that we had in the batch.
Oh.
Well, here, you know what? Let me go back on an old
A
classic that
TikTok
you
or
guys already
something?
watched. Here, let me show you this.
Oh, jeez.
God damn!
There we go.
Oh my god! Oh god! Yeah, that takes your breath away. God! Ooh. Oh, that takes your breath away.
Oh, it sure does.
Oh goodness. Oh boy. Oh my goodness, that takes your breath away. Oh, that's a shocker to your system.
Did you feel that all crack?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What's
So-
a shocker
I heard it.
Did you?
I've recently seen a couple of cases of vertebral arteries tears resulting in cerebral emboli.
That takes
So
your
this
breath
shit
away.
makes me nervous.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of chiropractic?
If it helps
practors?
people, it's just I've seen two things. I've seen some really serious injuries from particularly cervical spine manipulation, and I've seen people with really serious medical illnesses that gets missed. And I remember I saw this a couple times in residency. I'm like, oh, you really nearly died because you had this thing that it's a common thing. They just missed it. Like one lady had a empyema thing in her lungs and they were manipulating her thoracic spine. And no lawsuit because outside of their area of expertise. How can you expect them to know really what a medical problem is?
Yeah. Does it tend to happen more to people that have teeth that look like candy corn? Like that freak?
That seems to be a specialization of that particular office.
Did you see her mouth?
Oh, I caught my attention right away. Her teeth are the same
Oh,
color
my
that
God.
her shirt is mustard color, or even like a custard mustard
Just gigantic square blocks
of yellow.
Friggin' acre of corn. Whole acre right there, each one.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's a
yeah.
manly mouth.
Yeah. And there's little stuff going up the nose there too.
It's like Gary Busey's wife.
Yes, yes. There's a Busey-esque appearance. I totally agree with you. Oh,
Ugh.
poor lady.
So chiropractors, though, you're not a fan.
No, I'm not. I don't like those two features. I don't like when people get hurt. But look, my profession hurts people all the time too. So glass houses. I
Did
just
you know. Oh, here's something you'll like. So I used to go on Fox News and appear on the Jesse Waters program. It was really fun, and I would be a complete goofball.
Yeah.
And then one day after I had gone on and I had espoused the merits of QAnon as a joke, I then got caught on a hot mic at my job saying that I wasn't sure the audience knew that I was messing with them, and I was worried that I was, not being a good citizen of the world. A bunch of nonsense. But that mic moment got caught and then, spread, and a bunch of news articles were written about Barstool Sports and Fox News regular Francis Ellis caught on hot mic trashing the network and all of that. Why did I bring this up?
It's maybe something about the yellow teeth or chiropractic or how my profession fucks things up.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of death threats from major fans of Fox News.
Oh, boy.
And one of them was a chiropractor in West Virginia who emailed me from his work email. And I went on to his practice and then left him a bunch of horrible Yelp reviews. And on ZocDoc, I sewered him from multiple accounts. It took me a long time.
You're evil.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I am.
He threatened my life. And
Yeah.
he's a at least he's got a master's in some kind of medicine. Bunch of bullshit. What do you need to become a licensed chiropractor?
An undergraduate degree and then chiropractic degree.
What is that, a master's?
It's a doctor of chiropractic.
So a PhD?
DC. No.
How many
Doctor-
years does that take?
3 or 4, I think. I don't look it up. It's a DC, doctor of chiropractic, right?
So they're
here
like
it is.
dentists
Chiropractic school
of the
offers a
back.
DC degree following 4 years.
That's more substantial. You can't do it concurrent with your undergraduate studies, though, can you?
Primary coursework with third and fourth year involved clinical. Yeah. So it's same as medical, except we have to do 4 years after that. We have to do a residency after
That's
the.
pretty
after.
substantial.
Yeah,
It's more substantial than I thought. Anyway,
and look, they do some good. I'm not saying they don't do good. I am not. Taking aim at chiropractic. I'm taking aim at these wrinkles in their system, just the way I take aim at my own. Let me tell you something. I don't leave my own profession out of it. We've been fucking up a lot.
I don't think this
lately.
guy was doing much good. His
I
reviews
worry-
were already terrible.
I worry about the. I worry about the vertebral artery tears and that kind of stuff. There is a delicate vasculature back there, and if you just pull just the right way, curtains, or if not curtains, chronic disability of a lot of problems. So, hey, listen, my friend, this has been a lot of fun.
It's an honor.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Drew.
you for abusing me and going along with certain stuff and
My honor.
challenging me. And
it's very fun.
And whenever we're together again, I hope you'll come back.
I'd be thrilled. Thank you.
Then let us pick your brain yet again. Tell people where they can find you now. Where do they go?
Check my tour dates, francisellis.com. And I'm also, social media, Twitter, Francis Ellis, and Instagram, all that. So thank you. That's all.
All right. And we'll see you all next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation of the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.